Hello guys, gals, non-binary pals, and waterfowls. It's me, Big Mike, and welcome back to another episode of Big Mike's Indie Game Showcase. It's been a long time, fam, since our last episode, but we are back, and we're back with a series first. In this episode, we're going to be talking about our first mobile game, Villain's Pit. Villain's Pit is a free-to-play game for both Android and iOS by Hideki Matsui. Villain's Pit is a game that I've had a lot of fun with lately. But I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here. So before we go any further, let me throw up a couple disclaimers. Firstly, I'm coming down with a cold or the flu, so if my voice sounds a bit off, that's why. Secondly, I make no claims at being a good gamer. I'm just a guy that enjoys gaming. And lastly, as of the writing and recording of this, I'm not sure if what you're going to be seeing is linear gameplay, or editor Mike cutting around, or a mixture of both. But regardless, I hope you enjoy the video. This video is also going to be unique, because usually I like to start these off giving some background about the developer. However, with this developer, their only source of information is their Twitter, so I decided to go straight to the source and ask them about themselves. And they introduced themselves, saying the following: "My name is Hideki Matsui, and I'm a Japanese male. I've been creating games for about 10 years. The game engine I use is Game Salad. Villain's Pit was also created using Game Salad. Villain's Pit was inspired by Super Mario Bros. When you're playing Super Mario Bros, have you ever thought to yourself, I wish I could jump to that block easily? Then I devised a system that jumps to wherever you touch the screen. I also worried about designing courses to make the game more interesting. How big should be the best size of scaffolds? How many scaffolds would be best? How should the enemies move and attack? I am very happy that you're playing my game, which has finally reached completion." Now let's look at the game itself. The game has a simple premise, and if you're familiar with platformers, it'll sound very familiar. Make it to the goal while avoiding enemies, obstacles, and falling to your death. But Villain's Pit shakes things up. It goes off the well-beaten path. Unlike most Mario or Sonic games and stages, and similar to Ice Climber, the platforming is oriented not horizontally, but vertically. Also similar to Ice Climber, the bottom of the screen is always moving, so you can never stay still for too long. Also, as Hideki pointed out, jumping here is much more simple, and you don't have to worry about precision in the same manner as you would in a game like Mario or Sonic, where you have to worry about having enough momentum or hitting the jump button with the right amount of pressure. Here, you simply have to touch a place and you'll jump to it. Now, with that being said, you can't just throw precision out the window here either. You're going to have to make sure the path of your jump is unobstructed. And also you're going to have to make sure you can get to the next point from where you're landing. So accuracy here is important. Time for a Big Mike Super Advanced Pro Gamer Move Tip. When you first start playing, your instinct will be to take small steps from platform to platform, but you can actually pull off jumps from the platforms all the way at the bottom of the screen to platforms all the way at the top, considering nothing is blocking your path, and this will help to cut down on a lot of obstacles you're going to have to cross, or a lot of time that you would spend getting to the end of the stage. The stages are fairly in line with what you'd expect to find in a platformer. You start off basic with every new stage, or almost every new stage, at least from what I've played so far, adding a new element, such as new types of enemies, new platforms, or new obstacles. So far, I have encountered two types of enemies in the game. Red guys who have a straight shot, and blue dudes who shoot a spray shot. Both types can be easily taken out by jumping on them. There are a plethora of obstacles that are going to attempt to stymie your path. First, there's the omnipresent pit that is ever inching its way closer and closer to you. Then in the later stages, there are certain hazards such as swinging saws and spikes. Then there are the secret moving platforms. These are square-shaped platforms that look to be stationary, but when you jump on them, an alarm sounds and they start to move. And if I'm being completely honest here, fam, I didn't like this at first. And when I first encountered it, I died, and as a result, I experienced a gamer rage moment. But the more I thought about it, the more it made sense to me. The character you play as is dressed in a suit, so he's either some sort of spy or detective, so secret traps like that fit thematically. So I'm cool with them now. Overall, the game is very forgiving when it comes to deaths, as you have unlimited lives. However, if you've been seeing those X's all over the place in my gameplay footage, that's because every time you die, an X will mark where you die. So you can see it had taken me quite a few tries to get through most of the early levels. Now let's talk about the aesthetics. The stages are complex in regards to their layouts, but their aesthetics are simple, with the only major difference being color swaps between stages. But I feel like this minimalism really works well in its favor. The characters, however, especially the main character, I feel are a bit more detailed. And maybe I'm reading a bit too much into it here, but the main character reminds me of either Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop or Ichiban Kasuga from the Yakuza series. The music here is a real charm. It does vary from stage to stage in its genre. In one stage, you might have some upbeat swing style music, while in the next, you'd have some soulful Latin jazz. And all of this, I feel, works very well to complement both the theme of the game and the intensity of the gameplay within the various stages. Here are my final thoughts. The simple yet addictive and challenging gameplay combined with the equally simple graphics makes Villain's Pit feel like a love letter to the NES era of gaming. I feel like Hideki really captured the simplicity of the gaming philosophy of the Super Mario Bros. So if you're looking for something to play that's easy to pick up but hard to put down while you're on the go, I highly recommend checking out Villain's Pit. I also look forward to checking out Hideki's future work. Please be sure to give him a follow on Twitter, and also be sure to check out Villain's Pit. I'll leave some links below. And with that, I will call it here, fam. Welcome back to another Big Mike Inslate. The part of the video that's not really part of the video and is completely unscripted. What you're hearing here is raw, uncut Duck Daddy, baby. Now maybe you're like, but Big Mike, I thought you only did these for heavy videos. This video isn't heavy. And you're quite right, fam. When I first started doing these, I did this as a way to kind of ease off of heavier topics. Like when I did the Sora AI video or the UFO and nuclear sites video. I did it as kind of way to cool down after covering such a heavy topic. But honestly, I become addicted to these. I love these because I feel like I can connect more with my audience. And, one of the things I really admire about my streaming friends is they have such a good connection with their audience. And as a YouTuber, I kind of wish I could do that. Now, I don't think I will ever be able to have that type of connection. I feel like an Inslate is a good step in that direction. So with that out of the way, I just want to talk about a couple things here. Firstly, this was my first indie game video in a long time. But if you are an indie game developer and you're listening to this and you would like me to cover your game, please get in touch with me. If I am able to play it, I would love to. Secondly, if you notice my channel, I have two different indie game series. Big Mike's Indie Game Showcase and Big Mike's Indie Game Watch. I don't know if I've ever really described what makes them different, but just for the record, my Indie Game Showcase is for games that have already been released, and my Indie Game Watch is for those games that have yet to be released. And the last thing I really just want to bring up here is that in celebration of hitting 200 subscribers on YouTube, I want to do a viewer mailbag video. So please send me messages, and I'll put an email address below to where you can send them to, in which you can tell me things you like, you can tell me things you hate, you can call me an idiot if you like, you can whatever you want to say to me, feel free to say it. Just keep it within the terms of YouTube's terms of service, and also nothing that's going to get me canceled, and also nothing that's going to dox myself, because I'll be reading these aloud. Also feel free to send me questions too. And also send me topics in which you'd want to hear my opinion on, and feel free to share your own opinion on said topic as well. And I plan on having such a video come out either the first or second week in April. So with that, I just want to give a special thanks to Akira Miller. Akira Miller is one of my favorite streamers, and honestly, I'm seriously indebted to them All my knowledge of the Zakuza series comes from them. So please, if you're on Twitch, give them a follow. Also, give them a follow on Twitter as well. Also, special thanks to Fran, who does a wonderful job doing my art. She's coming back to Twitter soon, so please be sure to give her a follow. And also hit her up for all your art needs. She is phenomenal to work with, fam. I give you my word on that. Also, special thanks to all my friends on Twitter. I wouldn't be here without you all. And special thanks to all of you for watching this video. Please like this video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, and if you dislike it, please comment below and let me know what you think. Also, even if you don't dislike it, please comment below and let me know what you think. I would love to hear from you, fam. And if you like my content, please subscribe and turn your notifications on. Until next time, fam, remember, just be yourself and you'll be awesome. Peace out!